In section 9.2, we're going to be looking at simple interest. So this would be the amount of money you would have to pay if you borrowed from a bank. Simple interest uses a formula I equals PRT, where the I represents the amount of interest that you would pay or earn. P stands for principal, and that's the amount of money you either invest or borrow. R is the rate, and that always has to be written as a percent, and that percent changed to a decimal. And the time, and that always has to be in years. So if they give you 6 months, 6 months would be 6 out of 12. It takes 12 months to make a year, so you would be dealing with 1/2 of a year. So your months have to be changed into fractions of years. So, for example, if you want to deposit $1,000 in a bank for 3 years, and the annual interest rate is 2%. How much will you earn in interest? So we would take I equals PRT. So the amount of interest we would earn would be $1,000 times 2% would be 0.02, and our time is 3 years. So you would multiply that together, and that would be the amount of interest that you would earn. Well, let's say that we want to know the amount of money we would get back. So there's another formula that would save us an extra step. We would multiply this out and add it back onto 1,000 to see how much money we would have after 3 years. But we can use another formula. A equals the principal times 1 plus the rate times the time. And this is the amount earned. This is still the principal, this is still the rate, this is still the time. The rate still has to be a decimal, the time still has to be in years. But this will give you the amount of money you have without having to add back on the interest. So if I was given this same problem, but instead of the question being how much interest have I earned, I want to know how much money will I have after 3 years. Then I can use this formula, and the amount of money I have will be the $1,000 that I invested times 1 plus my rate, which has to be a decimal, times my time, which has to be in years. Now remember, order of operations, we have to do what's in the parentheses first, but within the parentheses, we have to do this multiplication. So I have 1,000 times 1 plus 3 times 2 hundredths is 6 hundredths. Still working within the parentheses, I have to add. So I have 1,000 times 1 and 6 hundredths. Multiplying by 1,000 moves the decimal right 3 places. So I would have $1,060 at the end of the 3-year period of time. On a credit card statement, you see the daily periodic rate, and then it also gives you the annual percentage rates. So this particular credit card charges 16 and 99% interest annually, but it charges this percent daily, and that's for purchases. And then if you do cash advance, then there is another set of interest rates that differ. But you can get your periodic finance charge, that's your daily finance charge, by multiplying what you owe times the daily periodic rate. Now remember, this is a percent, and to change it to a decimal, it has to go to the left 2 places. So the decimal 0.004655, that's going to be the percent changed to a decimal. So watch that when you work with the daily periodic rates. And remember that you're always dealing with years. So if you are given 3 months, that's 3/12 of a year, which is 1/4. If you're given 18 months, then that's 18/12 of a year.